Jarbas to talk a little bit more about our products in a more detailed way.
Thanks, Tina. Before I start to talk about the talk that I have prepared, I want to thank you very much for the time we spent together yesterday and for the time that we're going to spend also together. It was great to meeting you all and having the chats. And so if I haven't talked to a partner yet, so let's have this conversation today. Great. This slide here, you have seen it already, I think 4 times, maybe this is the 5th time now. It's about how we see the channels that we are targeting. I think it has been explained by many people. I'll just display everything. So it's about like the communication channels, which are like the distribution channels, basically, and here it consists of the employee app, the front door intranet. We also have here this section with SharePoint and Teams, which represents the Microsoft part. And then we have the places where you want, like as a communicator, if you want to boost your content, these are like the communication boosters, the employee email, these screens and so on. What you see from this screen here is that the Microsoft represents a cornerstone in digital workplace strategy of many of the customers. But this is not, in many cases, the only tool that the customers are using as part of their strategy. Now, what you see here, this representation, is not the theoretical view that Staffbase has invented. As an example, 95% of our customers, they are also Microsoft 365 customers, as Dan mentioned yesterday. So having a mix of channels is a common thing, is the reality for large organizations, especially like the enterprise customers. Right. And in the next slide, I want to show you how DHL, based on a customer case, handles the digital workplace strategy. This is a slide that we got from DHL. It's a big slide with a lot of information, but it represents the digital workplace strategy and the different tools that they use to make it. You see here that Microsoft plays a very important role, and it's used by the DHL users, the desktop users mostly, for collaboration, for managing information. But this is not the only application that they are using. They have also, for example, established the Staffbase, which is represented here as Smart Connect, as the tool that they use to bring the company narrative to all the employees. Now, it's not only about like the desktop workers, it's also about the frontline workers. Now let's focus a bit more on this hub that connects Microsoft and Staffbase. So here you see what DHL calls Smart Connect, and that, as you see here, consists of the Staffbase front door intranet and the Staffbase app. And as I explained, this is what DHL uses to bring the company narrative to all employees. And these applications here, they have already integrations with Microsoft 365. Now, on the other part, we have the DHL intranet in Microsoft 365, which is built, as you can see, based on Valo intranet. And this is used mostly by the desktop workers for the concept of knowledge management. And as you can see here, it starts with a search, and that's the main focus of their intranet and how they use it. So from a strategic point of view, whatever we do, we need to keep supporting the current process of our customers while making sure that we provide a seamless integration between Microsoft 365 and the entire Staffbase platform, so that the customer can make the most out of their existing investment in Microsoft 365 when adopting Staffbase as an application or as part of their digital workplace strategy. All right. So what I'm going to cover in the next slide is it will target basically the main initiatives that we have at Valo. which is the Valo Internet, Valo Teamwork, Valo Connect, and the cross-platform integrations. I'm also going to talk about the other products like Valo Classic, the Tygraph part that we have, but that will be like more at the end of the session. So I think this slide gives you a good overview about the direction we are going. And we see a market for Valo Internet and Connect, as it has already been explained. But not in the way how we are offering it today. And this is why we want to take these products through repositioning. In case of Valo Internet, maybe a combination of both. Exploring the idea of the library internet or research hub or knowledge management. So these two products will go through repositioning. And starting the next release, we'll change our approach for Valo Internet and Connect, and we'll move these products from a high investment mode into low investment mode. So what does that mean? That means that we'll be fixing bugs, making the product stable, while also adding small improvements to the product, right? However, we're not going to add big features. So big feature development will not happen for now in Internet and Connect. For Valo Teamwork, so as it has already been mentioned, and yes, it's a very good product, right? It targets the wrong audience. Not the wrong audience, it targets the IT audience. It has a value, it's about governance and provisioning. The audience is IT. From a Staffbase point of view, this is not core of our strategy. Our focus is on employee communication. So that goes beyond our core strategy. And that means that as a business, you need to have a focus, a clear focus. If you think about Valo, if you know our history, we were very focused on internet. And at some point, we started exploring new areas. Valo Entrance, Valo Ideas, going beyond, going away from our focus area. And I think that had impacted the way how we made our business, and maybe this is the reason for some of the change that we need to introduce now. While we slow down in some areas, we're also speeding up in others. And the area that we are going to speed up, as you can see, here's the cross-platform integrations. So cross-platform means any integration that's related to Microsoft 365 and this entire Staffbase platform. So it's not just focusing on integrations, for example, in SharePoint. So it's anything. So if something needs to be developed inside of Staffbase that's related to Microsoft, this is done then by our unit. Okay. I'll go now through all these initiatives, and I'll give you a bit more of detail about the things that we have planned, and also give a bit more of details about products like Internet, Teamwork, and Connect. Right. As I mentioned, so Staffbase has already many integrations with Microsoft 365. If we think as a Staffbase Internet, for example, there it's already possible for Microsoft 365 users or for the Staffbase users to access data coming from Microsoft 365 into the internet, for example, accessing files, accessing calendar. This is done as a concept of widgets that's available inside of the Staffbase Internet. Now, as a Microsoft 365 customer, so if I am also a Staffbase app or Staffbase Internet customer, I can, as of today, already access, for example, my Staffbase Internet inside of Microsoft Teams, or I can, for example, access Staffbase News from SharePoint, for example. So these integrations exist already. And our goal is to intensify the investment in these areas and build more integrations. We will be running discovery work to better understand the investments that we need to do, but I can mention some examples of possible investments. One of the ideas we get as a feedback from partners or our sales would be, for example, to be able to access the Staffbase news inside of a Viva Connections dashboard. Then there would be the idea of supporting the SharePoint content inside of the Staffbase email. This can come as a feedback also from Valo partners, especially. So that would be a very interesting use case that we consider also in supporting. There is also the idea of, from Staffbase Studio. So Staffbase Studio is our content management system that's all about like planning, scheduling, and measuring content from all the different channels that we have. So from the Staffbase Studio, we have been considering to include the Microsoft Teams as one additional distribution channel, so that as a communicator, I can amplify my messages also in Microsoft Teams. And as I think Frank mentioned yesterday, we have acquired recently Dirico. Dirico is an advanced planning comms platform. And one of the ideas there would be to support the publishing of content directly in SharePoint. So these are examples of integrations, and as you can see from what I described, it's not only about one specific Staffbase product or one specific area inside of Microsoft, it's about the entire platform. And we'll be analyzing and, based on feedbacks we get from partners, from customers, what are the areas that we need to intensify or put like the focus and resources. Okay, now let's take one step back and take a look at the existing products, the Valo products, like Teamwork, Internet, and Connect, and I'll start with Valo Internet. So this section here represents a very good summary about what will happen for Internet, and there is a mistake, just to emphasize that. The mistake here is about moving from investment mode into support mode. That's not correct. We are moving from investment mode into low investment, from a high investment mode into low investment mode. Okay, so Valo Internet, the plan is to release Valo Internet 5.0, which would be like the next version, in November. Piotr is there. It's good, November? Yes. He handles like the development with the teams. He's the guy who runs the show actually. So some of the improvements that we have planned for Valo Internet, we have already released via Fastlane. So if you have been following our channels in Microsoft Teams, you have seen that we have been pushing some improvements, small improvements, and sometimes also a bit bigger improvements, all based on partner feedback. All based on the discussions that I have had with you, with Sobion, Beetroot, and many of other partners. But right, so we have already released something. Now what will be part of next release? Yes, there is still improvement coming. We are going to release the My Internet Ace, which is about accessing the Valo Internet directly from the Viva Connections dashboard. We are also going to release a new carousel template, which comes to fix, we already have carousel templates or web parts inside of our internet, but we are releasing a new one with a focus on accessibility, and we would also allow you to place this carousel web part many times on a page, and that came as a feedback also from partners. We are also going to support sharing news directly from the site panel to Microsoft Teams. Currently, you can, if you use the share news functionality, that just works currently from the cards, right? So, and we are going to bring that now to the site panel, so that as a user, if you think that an article is interesting, so you could share that directly from the panel. No need to close the panel first to then share that. And if everything goes as expected, disclaimer, we want to fix a bug that's related like to iOS and Safari that has been preventing our users using these applications from accessing some of the Valo Internet features, for example, the My Toolbox and so on. So we are focused on fixing that. It would improve like the user experience for these users. Currently, there is a workaround where the user needs to change some setting in the browser, but that's not ideal, and we want to fix that. Okay, so after this release, we are moving Valo Internet from a high investment mode into low investment mode. I want to repeat that. So it's about fixing bugs, ensuring that the product is stable, while also adding small improvements. So improving the existing features, making sure that they get further developed, maybe adding small features. However, we are not going to add big features. So big investment will not happen in Valo Internet anymore. And this product, it will then go through a repositioning process. What we keep saying here is this concept of the library of knowledge management, resource hub, depending on how we want to call that. And that's an area where we need to understand better before we can commit to a solution. Now we're talking a lot about a library and knowledge management, and the question could be, okay, so when can we sell that? So we don't have an answer for that at this point. So we need to investigate, work with you, get your feedback. Maybe you're going to say this is bullshit. Libraries, that doesn't make sense. Microsoft is already providing something for that. So we are open for your feedback. We are always open for your feedback. Okay? Let's take a quick look at some of the features that are coming for Valo Internet. I have talked about that. Maybe it would be also interesting to see how the things that we have developed look like. This is the new carousel. So it's not for kids, right? But it's a web part in Valo Internet. A web part, as written there, so if you are not a Microsoft, if you have not experienced with Microsoft, it's a web part. Web part is a visual component inside of Microsoft SharePoint. It's mostly about display information. And this web part, it comes with enhancements for accessibility. And as I also mentioned, you can place this web part multiple times on a page. What we also have is the My Internet ACE. Well, we deprecated the Valo mobile app, and the feedback that we got was now, okay, so how can the customers now access the internet from mobile if there will not be a mobile application anymore? And that was the driver to build this ACE, which, well, from the complexities, is not so complex. So this ACE represents basically our first investment inside of Vivo Connections. And there is more to come, maybe not in the context of the Valo Internet anymore, but then with the cross-platform integrations that we are planning. So what's special about this ACE? As a user, I can access my preferred intranet. So from the Valo toolbox, you can configure the preferred internet as a user. So if I have done that, and I click on this ACE from the mobile, I would be then redirected to my preferred internet. So if I don't have a preferred internet configured, that means that I will then be redirected to the SharePoint homepage that an administrator has defined when configuring the ACE. So these are like the two options that makes this web ACE a bit more interesting than the out-of-the-box web link ACE that exists inside of Vivo Connections. Right, now let's take a look at Valo Connect. We plan to release Connect 4.0 also in November 2022, so not next year. And we are not moving Connect into support mode, just to clarify that. So the features that we'll be releasing, they go from performance improvements based on the feedback that we got from partners and customers, or complaints also, to an improved dark mode experience, also based on customers and partner feedback, and widget improvements. For an example, when I'm talking about widget improvements, it's about being able to pin documents on the My Documents widget, and also about to be able to provide custom widget titles. Also here, if everything goes well, it will be possible for the partners to install Valo Connect 4.0 using the Valo installer. So Valo Connect would also come into Valo installer, and so you would have at least two products that you can install using this one application. After this release, after release 4.0, we are moving in Connect from a high investment mode into low investment mode. And also to clarify, it is about making sure that this product is stable, We will be also adding small improvements, but we don't have any plans to develop big features for Connect. And also not for Connect Me, if you think that these are like two different products. Connect and Connect Me represents, from our view, one single product. Okay, let's also, important, this product is also going through a repositioning. So we want to investigate the possibilities, the options. One idea could be like to have this product to support the Staffbase integrations, in the context that it could be then the connector that brings the Staffbase internet into Microsoft Teams. Here means we need to investigate, check the limitations that might be there, but it would be definitely a very good application for that. If you know the improvements that we have done with Connect and comparing with Viva connections, it supports navigating through the pages inside of your SharePoint, which is a very useful functionality. Okay, let's take also here a quick look at the features that are coming. And this slide contains two improvements for Connect Me, right? The one is being able to set custom widget titles with support for emojis. This is kind of a must-have nowadays. Everyone wants to have emojis anywhere. If you take a look at Slack, we started using Slack now. It's quite different. So you see emojis everywhere, and the name of the people need to get used to that. And we also have support for being able to pin a document on the My Documents widget, so that your favorite documents or important documents or relevant documents were also visible on the top. Okay. We also have this nice slide here with a dark mode experience that it is improved. It's not clear here from this slide, but it has been improved. And the performance, you can see that here, but yeah, it's also improved. And yes, like all based on your feedback, and we apologize for the bad experience that you have had with, the loading situation inside of Connect. But we spent a significant amount of time improving, especially the loading experience. All right. Now let's take a look at my favorite product, Valo Teamwork. And the thing with moving from high investment mode, this is correct, just to clarify that. So Teamwork 6.0, the planned release date or the month is November, also 2022. And as you see, get the consultant people ready. So November will be a busy month with a lot of releases, a lot of customers to update, revenue increase. And yeah, so that's a good timing. And if everything goes as planned, as I said, so all the 3 products will be released on November. Well, Teamwork release is always spectacular. This one will also be spectacular with a lot of features. And we have conducted penetration tests. We have worked with an agency from Finland, so they have run penetration tests and have reported bugs to us, and we basically have fixed all the important, or basically all the bugs that they have reported. That also means that for one feature, we had, for example, to move the configuration option from the Teamwork dashboard into the admin area, which, we had to spend some time refactoring the application. We have also moved the metadata for the workspaces, group-based workspace and SharePoint-based workspaces, from a SharePoint list into Cosmos DB. That means now that basically all workspace-related data is in one single place, which is now Cosmos DB. And that gives us this improves, first of all, performance inside of the product, in some areas of the product, for example, the Teamwork dashboard, when you are performing field operations, so that gets improved. But now having all this data in one single place means for a partner or for the customers, that this is something that we haven't tested that 100%, but we have been checking possibilities. And the idea is that apparently you can connect Cosmos DB data with Power BI. which means that you can then generate live reports based on the workspace data. For example, create different views based on the metadata. And this is a very nice use case. So many partners have been asking, hey, would it be possible to generate reports from teamwork based on the data that you have stored anyways? And that would be like the use case that solves it. So connecting the causes of data with Power BI. What we have also added is what is visible here, the accent colors. So as an admin, you can now define an accent color for your templates. And that means that then the workspaces will inherit this color and it gets displayed on the Teamwork dashboard, improving so the association, the findability of these workspaces. And also, the goal is to have Teamwork also supported inside of the Valo installer. So from also here, if everything was expected, Teamwork 6.0, so you'll be able to install Teamwork 6.0 from the Valo installer. That means that then Valo Intranet, Valo Connect, and Valo Teamwork would all be available from the Valo installer, one application. No need for the partners to run PowerShell to get the products installed. Everything from one single tool. Okay, so Teamwork, it goes from the high investment mode into maintenance mode. In this case here, it means about we are going to fix relevant bugs. So no, we're not going to add small improvements, and we're also not going to add big features. It's basically keeping if you know Valo Classic, so if you have been with us for a long time, Valo Classic 2018 moved from development into maintenance mode, and it has been so far into maintenance mode. So it has been possible for people to use it, but we haven't been adding any new features there or making improvements. And this is currently the future of Valo Teamwork. So it's not going through the positioning process, but Teamwork is looking for a home, a good home, as it has been said already. If you're interested, if you have the knowledge in this area, feel free to contact us, let's have a discussion. And yeah. So for Teamwork, let's take a look at one visual improvement that we have applied. Many of the things that happen for such a governance solution, they happen as a back-end improvement, so it's not easy to demonstrate that. But this is the visual change that has been added, or maybe the most significant change. So as an admin, as I mentioned, or a power user in your organization, you can define an accent color for your templates that then gets reflected on the workspace cards, the group workspace cards inside of the Teamwork dashboard. This feature here came as an inspiration from talks with our premium partner Sovion. They have done a very nice implementation for one of their customers. And the idea was they used colors to describe processes inside of the organization. So as a user, if you go there, if you take a look at the dashboard, you can then quickly see what workspaces are part of which process. And that was very, very interesting and smart move. So we decided also like, hey, let's bring that as a feature inside of the product. So other partners and customers can also benefit from that. Okay, so now we have covered the main initiatives for our unit, Teamwork, Connect, Intranet, and the cross-platform integrations. And now let's take a look at the other Valo products, Valo Classic, Valo Entrance, and so on. Okay, it should not come as a surprise now that Valo Entrance, Valo On-Prem, and the Valo mobile apps. So here I'm talking about the Valo Digital Workplace app and the Valo mobile app, as it's called. That was the one for the classic version. Have already been are in maintenance mode. So they have entered the process of retirement, and we have fixed dates, as you can see here, for the end of life of the products. Okay. So what's come next now? Valo Classic, the standalone version of Valo Ideas. are also entering the retirement process. And the end of life, the date for the end of life for these products is end of December 2023. You also see here Valo Analytics, powered by Tygraph. We have canceled the partnership with Tygraph, and we're not going to release Valo Analytics powered by Tygraph. It has been on hold because of legal reasons, and it came as a management decision that the product will not be released as we initially planned. So for this product, we are going to, if you have a partner here who has already sold one license of Valo Analytics, we were going to have discussions so we can find a very good solution for the customers. Actually, we had like 2 partners who sold these licenses. Now this is at least you have here a very good overview about the dates and the products. And as you can see, we have had many of the products, and that was what I was talking about, the focus. Having this clear focus as a business is very important. We have tried many initiatives like Valo Entrance, going more deeper actually inside of access, of the governance area with a company that was very focused initially on governance. We tried also to spend a lot of time with idea management. That was part initially of Valo Classic, I know that, but we then decided to develop a full product just to focus on this concept of idea management. And as an organization, it's important to keep that focus so that you can grow your business in a sustainable direction, which didn't happen for Valo. So this is basically, I want to have, or we wanted to have this slide here to emphasize the changes that we are doing, to justify the changes that we are doing. We see from a business side that it's definitely, so Staffbase, the power that's behind it with sales, so comparing with Valo is maybe difficult, but in general, as you saw, like from the previous years, and that's not only related like to 2022. The challenges with sales, they come from longer. So we believe that by focusing on the integrations, by bringing these 2 platforms closer, Microsoft 365 and the entire Staffbase platform, we are going to help our customers to take the most out of their investment in Microsoft 365 when selected in Staffbase as their strategic partner for employee comms. And so that's the idea. So come together. Let's explore these opportunities. Let's go into this new chapter together. And there is a funny story, at least, about this bar that you see here. It goes very up. So when the designer, we had support from graphic designers when creating this slide, so it's not me creating everything. So she came with some suggestions, and this was like the one selected, and I talked to Sasha, and Sasha, I think we should change it because this blue bar, it overlaps with the banner, so they have the same color. And then she told me, Javas, the sky's the limit. This is what I want to signal here. And then I thought, Sasha nailed it. You know, that's the idea. I think, come with us, the sky's the limit. We are bringing the integrations, we are bringing the platform together. And that's the message we want to share. So if you have questions, we are very happy to take them. And thank you.
When will be Valo ideas components available in the internet, approximately?
So the question is about just a bit more background here. Since 2022, January 2022, we said that it will be possible as a new Valo Internet customer, you also get Valo ideas. So far, it means for a customer that when you buy Valo Internet, you also get a Valo Ideas license. right? So you have basically both products. And the question is, when will then these Valo ideas, functionalities, be integrated with Valo intranet? This has been indeed communicated. This goes now into the part of the big feature development. So we need to investigate how much effort it will be now, to bring all these functionalities from Valo Ideas, the campaigns management, and everything that's part of that into Valo intranet. So as of now, I don't have an answer of a date, so when we are going to have it inside of the product. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? Okay.
Thank you. Cough. Yeah, first of all, I just want to say great work on all the work you've done for the years, because you guys have done a phenomenal job with the products. I guess I've got a couple of questions. The first one, possibly not a question for you to answer, but when would we get a warning if there was ever to be an end-of-life flag on Valo Intranet? Is there a sort of foreseeable guarantee that that's still going to be a product that we can sell? But more relevant to you, Jarvis, would probably be, do we have an idea of what kind of integrations that you're actually going to build? Because if we have to start building our own integrations, I don't want to start building things that is in your pipeline as well. So will there be a sort of product mode roadmap for your integrations that you're planning?
Okay, so the first question was about the sales for Valo Internet, correct? So for Valo Internet and Connect, you can continue selling the products. So we're not stopping development. We are reducing investment. Sales is still welcome and well wished. We don't have any plans to deprecate it. So if someone wants to comment that, feel free to bring that message as well. But we don't have any plans to deprecate Valo Internet, Valo Connect. The idea is to reposition that, and ideally in a good repositioning strategy, it would mean that the existing customers from Valo Internet would also benefit from that. So that will be the ideal, and I hope that's the direction we are going to go with the repositioning. The second question was about the roadmap for the integrations, right? Okay. So we don't have it here to show today, but we have a roadmap for the integrations. The next feature, that would have been nice, right? To show. So it's about being able to create the Staffbase news directly from SharePoint. So if you think about the Valo toolbox, you have this concept of the toolbox. You click there, then you click on a button, create post, and that would show you the channels. That's the concept of in Staffbase. You can select a channel. You select your channel. You can then fill in the form and create the news. Though, like in the content management system is Staffbase still, but as a user, if you are in Microsoft 365, you don't need to break your workflow and go to the studio, so you can do that directly from Staffbase. And the next feature that's also coming is the ability then, well, since you can create a post, Staffbase post from a SharePoint, you can also edit that. So you have the editing option also. These are two features that we have been discussing with partners that we are developing right now. Piotr, developing? Yeah, he's the guy. And after that, so we are exploring now what should be the next move. So there is the idea of the Viva Connections ACE, where we would be able to see the Staffbase news in Viva Connections. And we have the widgets. So there are the new things that they are coming, and the existing investments where we need also to improve them. The widgets, the integration from Staffbase Internet inside of Microsoft Teams. So that will be basically the main goal. So we keep improving the existing investment along with adding new features. And basically the two features that you can expect is the ability to create the Staffbase news from SharePoint and also edit that. So we are going to publish a proper roadmap with the information. Thank you.
Okay. Questions? We still have time.
You have questions, I know it.
Yeah. I'm sure that you have questions. Yeah, sure.
Hi, just a clarifying question about the, you mentioned that the sort of in the repositioning phase, at some point when you find out, what the benefits will be for the next new stuff coming, and that the aim is that the current customer base will be able to benefit from that. Is it then possible that there will be, for the current customer base, in the future, at some point, a major release with these new features, or will that be delivered in some different way?
Do you want to comment there? Good question. So we don't have an answer for that now, because the idea was like we are going to go to this investigation process. It's difficult to predict what then will be the scenario already in the future. The idea, as I mentioned, the main idea is to make whatever we make it so that the existing customers will benefit from that. So will that then be a major release that will bring then this functionality? But that would mean, depending direction we go, it might then make some other functionalities irrelevant. So I don't know. The idea is provide whatever we're going to do in a SaaS format, which is then different from the concept that we have Valo Internet today. So that's whatever we do from a strategic point of view, we want to follow the Staffbase best practice. So I think with the market best practices, where SaaS is the way to go. And that will be then the direction we want to go with a new repositioning.
Comms that we do towards our customers, as we have through 130 of them, that what kind of expectations we'll have to manage, and we're saying that okay, there's no schedule for a release after this one now in November, but the investigation is on repositioning and exploring new opportunities. But if it's clear that in order to be able to benefit from those new opportunities, they will need to do a major shift in the way they are purchasing and Valo at the moment, and that's a whole different discussion. Yeah.
No, that's true. I mean, but make it clear, right? So whatever direction we go, it will be SaaS with the investments. It needs to, as I mentioned, to follow the way how Staffbase released the products. This is actually what we have tried to do also with Valo. We have had so many discussions for so long time. How can we move our delivery model from this on-premises approach, where basically the customer gets everything, and it's not about the ownership, but it's about also the adoption that gets impacted when you have this on-premise approach, the ability for the teams to bring the new releases. As an information for you, we collect data about the usage of our products. So more than 50% of the Valo Internet customers are using the version 2.0, right? We have version 4.0 currently. 4.0, 3.0, 2.0. So more than 50% of the customers are on a version that is by contract not supported. So that makes for us very difficult to bring all these investments that we put inside of the product. There are different reasons, okay? It could be that the customer doesn't want to move because they don't see the value, because maybe they don't get information about that. And this is the reason why we think that SaaS, but the market also shows that when we think about the competitors, they are all on SaaS. And that's the model that we want to adopt going forward.
Thanks, Jarvis.
Thanks
Any comments? Yeah.
Microphones.
Thank you. I was just wondering, because yesterday you said some of the informations we get here are not supposed to come out publicly. So these roadmap updates and that stuff, when are we supposed to tell it our customers?
Yeah. Okay, so we are releasing today an announcement on the Partner Hub. It should be going 10:30 if comms works well. So the idea is to have that published on the Partner Hub, and it's basically the same message that we have shared here today. And I think Tina is right, so that will be then the time where at least this information that we're providing here can also be shared we want to prioritize you since you are here, bring that information first, and then the big announcement on the Partner Hub. So, well, people following that will have that information as well, and that will be the time where you can bring the information to your customers. Thank you.
Okay, we have space for last question before the coffee break. Anybody? Yeah.
Actually, I'm really interested in the concept that you're seeking for the integration of the Staffbase news into the Viva Connections dashboard. Do you think that it will be a two-way sync of all social interactions? What do you see?
Okay, the question is about the way how we plan to integrate the Staffbase news into into Viva Connections. It's the same idea with the News Central, where you can also access the Staffbase news from SharePoint. So that will be the same idea. It's not about like creating this news. This feature is not about creating the news inside of SharePoint. It's about surfacing this information on Viva Connections. The idea would be, so how can I open this in an iframe? This is what we do currently with the Staffbase News Central. So if that could be possible, then you have basically the same interaction options as you have inside of Staffbase. You can bookmark, you can like, you can comment on the news. So that will be as of now, the way how we would be implementing that. Thank you.
All right.
Are we done? So thanks everyone. Was nice talking to you.